Hello, my friend, and welcome to your Reiki session in our cozy cottage in the woods. I hope you're doing as well as possible. For today's session, I'm going to be supporting you and helping you make decisions. So if there are any decisions that you're mulling over, particularly if these are causing kind of some thorns in the side, a little bit of discomfort, maybe even gnawing at your subconscious mind when you're trying to go to sleep. We all know what that's like. I just want to sort of help you to connect with your third eye, which is our beautiful wheel of intuition. Helps us to really connect with wisdom and that beautiful sense of perspective. So we're going to be doing some healing in the third eye. There's some crystals for that as well that we'll talk about a little bit. But I also just want to help you feel a little bit safer. Sometimes the decision-making process can cause us to spiral into doubt and some fears, and almost sort of the shadow that these little fears can cast can start to make them seem a lot bigger than they actually are. So we're just going to be shifting things back into perspective for you a little bit. How are you feeling today? Well, as always, I hope that by the end of our session here, you feel at least 10% better, okay? I'm going to start with some selenite wands, just clearing your aura. So, I just want to thank you so much for being here. All of your comments just mean so much to me. Just reading them, there were a lot of wonderful There were a lot of wonderful comments on my last video, and it just means so much to me. I have a little file where I save all of your comments. I copy and paste the whole comment, and then I send gratitude for these, to your names for sharing those wonderful comments. So I don't really have an opportunity that often to really thank you. So genuinely thank you. I mean, when I upload, I sit and hang out with you guys for a couple hours and answer your comments. But yeah, other than that, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being here and sharing your wisdom and insights and your kindness. You are so kind to each other. It's so beautiful. So thank you. I feel so lucky. I could get emotional talking about it, but you guys are just so kind and supportive. And when I hear about, what other content creators go through in a way with their comments, it's like, I just feel very lucky that you're here. I just feel very fortunate. So thank you. You really are the best, and I treasure you. Okay, so let's do some clearing in your energy field. So we're just kind of, I like to say, sloughing off the day. Selenite is a wonderful crystal for just clearing and cleansing. And these are charged in the sun and in the light of the moon. So they've got a great feeling to them. Now I'm just going to get underneath your feet here. We're just going to do some cleansing right here. And I have one of these is actually larger than the other, so I'm going to take this larger selenite and tuck it just underneath your feet. And so that way, as we do our Reiki session here, any of that residual energy that you want to cast out, it'll just cascade down your body, and it can just be flushed out through your feet and then transmuted by that beautiful selenite wand. So I'm going to take this one here now and start to do some clearing and cleansing in the third eye. We're just going to begin to create a nice pathway here, a nice clear channel, so that you can start to open yourself up to receiving insights. So, I want to talk a little bit about decision making and just generally what that can kind of look like for you and how I can sort of support you a little bit. So a lot of us have a real anxiety when it comes to making decisions. This session is based on one of your comments. And, I just want to start by sharing some truths with you. One of which is that we often labor under this false assumption that there's a perfect answer, that there's a perfect solution. And so it's almost like we're wading in muddy water, dark, muddy water, just trying to find that key down at the bottom that will unlock the perfect answer for us. And I think this can be a little bit misleading, and I think it can also end up causing you unnecessary anxiety, this belief. So I just want to shift it for you. There is no perfect answer, right? There are oftentimes a lot more options than we're aware of, a lot more that we could actually end up considering. But there isn't a perfect solution to every problem that if we only found that key, everything would be unlocked, right? What we can do is just maybe take a deep breath if that feels a little bit like, no, but there is. I've built a lot of my life on believing that fact. Let's take a few slow deep breaths here. Maybe even do that neurological sigh. Deep breath, then another little breath, and then release. And let's maybe start to open to the possibility that there are simply choices that we can make based on the information that we have right now. So yes, we want to connect with our intuition, and that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to try to open up pathways so that we can see more clearly, for sure. But I also just want to kind of alleviate a little bit of anxiety for you by saying that it's not possible for you to make an imperfect decision because there's no version of perfect. So all we're doing is we're gathering the information. This is my harvesting basket. It's sort of like harvesting at the end of the season. We're going through and we're harvesting all of this information. And then from there, we can pick and choose and analyze and see what's going on, have a clear idea of what we've got in our basket. And from there, we can say, this is what I'm going to do based on what I know right now. How does that sit for you? Even the kind of the decision that ends up being a mistake, right? We all make mistakes. But even that is a wonderful opportunity for growth and for getting to know yourself better or learning more about somebody else. So we have to, instead of looking at our lives like, well, the right choice, the perfect decision is going to lead me to the happy ever after that I want. We can look at it as this very fluid thing. Instead, we can start to say, okay, this is the chapter that I'm in right now. Right? This is where I am right now. I'm in this chapter right now. And this is a long book. So just being open to the fact that it doesn't have to be everything all at once. Maybe the next chapter is going to be the most magnificent chapter that you've ever experienced. The best chapter you've read so far. We talked about that recently. But I just want to support you in recognizing that there's not so much on your shoulders, right? We want to follow our intuition, yes. We want to connect very deeply with with what's going on in our own inner wisdom, our innate wisdom and connection to intuition. But I also don't want you to be afraid of failing because, we all make mistakes. That's part of life. If there's a fluidity to it and a recognition that we all are on this path, there isn't anyone who has all the answers. We are all just moving through in this beautiful, fluid dance of life. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you try to cushion yourself from ever making a mistake, from ever choosing the wrong thing, whether that's from little decisions or bigger life decisions, if we pad ourselves from that so much, what we're really doing is creating a barrier between us and the life of our dreams. When we're so afraid of making mistakes, very often that tends to create an environment where we don't feel safe to take risks, we don't feel safe to put ourselves out there, we don't feel safe to be vulnerable, and that ends up kind of creating a smaller life. So I want to encourage you to have the courage to really make a mistake. Maybe the decision that you make isn't the right one. And maybe there is no such thing as the right decision. But maybe this decision that you make ends up leading you to something wonderful. Not something expected, but maybe something wonderful. There's a story about a Chinese farmer, and I'm sure you've probably heard about it. So I'll share that with you in just a moment. But I just want you to really connect with this idea that you never know. If we don't label things as good or bad, if we don't label things as perfect and failure, then we're opening up the opportunity to learn, grow, see things from a new perspective, open up our eyes in a new way. So we are going to connect with our intuition, and we are going to help support you in making this decision. But I also want you to really recognize and connect with the fact that it's okay to make a mistake. Make a mistake. Maybe on the other side of that mistake is something wonderful. If you can just ease up, let yourself off the hook a little bit, and just explore and kind of see these things from a lighter perspective. Put these things into proper proportion. Okay, my dear. So we are going to get into the crystals, but first I just want to do an energy scan, and I'm going to share the story of the Chinese farmer with you. Long ago, there was a widowed Chinese farmer. The farmer and his only son labored through the cold winds of winter and scorching rays of summer with their last remaining horse. One day, the son didn't lock the gate of the stable properly, and the horse bolted away. When neighbors learned what happened, they came to the farmer and said, "What a sadness this is. Without your horse, you'll be unable to maintain the farm. This is a great tragedy." The farmer replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." The next day, the missing horse returned to the farmer's stable, bringing along with it 6 wild horses. The farmer's son locked the gate of the stable firmly behind all 7 horses. When the neighbors learned what happened, they came to the farmer and said, "What happiness this brings. What a blessing." The farmer replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." The next day, the farmer's son was breaking in one of the wild horses. The son got thrown from the horse, fell hard on rocks, and broke his leg. When neighbors learned what happened, they came to the farmer and said, "What a great sadness this is. What a tragedy." The farmer replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." The next day, a general from the Imperial Chinese Army arrived to conscript all the young men of the village into the army. The farmer's son, because of his broken leg, was not taken. When neighbors learned what happened, they came to the farmer and said, "What a great joy, what a blessing." The farmer replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Okay, my dear. So on behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered, most aligned self, in loving comfort and in perfect balance, I wish to conduct this Reiki session to help you connect with perspective, priorities, intuition, and wisdom, and to help you really trust yourself in this decision-making process. Now, feel free to clarify this intention based on whatever decision you might be bumping up against right now. What's coming up for you right now? Is there something that's feeling really, really maybe overwhelming? It keeps getting in the way. Every time you try to be present or think about other things or have a conversation with someone, things start to remind you of this decision and you feel overwhelmed by it. Or are you ruminating on a past decision that's making you question everything? I just want you to kind of clarify and specify for yourself what it is that you're really struggling with when it comes to this topic. Or you could even just ask for general support and alignment. And as long as that's in service, sorry, let me make sure this candle is open to receive your intention. It's just struggling a little bit. There we go. Goodness me. It went out. Okay, I'm gonna light this. We're gonna do this on some incense instead because that candle's being weird. I'll relight it and then we'll do it. We'll set your intention on some incense. It just doesn't like being trapped like that. Okay, my dear. So we've continued preserving that intention that we've set already. So now on this incense, feel free to set that intention as long as it's in service of your own and everyone else's highest, wisest selves. And we'll see it through time and space to where and whenever it's applicable for you. So many of us struggle with anxiety. We really experience actually a lot of pain when it comes to decision making because we see it almost as the death of other options, right? But we also have to recognize a few other things, that we are strong and brave enough and capable enough to correct and remedy or amend a mistake. We're able to hold that. You really need to trust that you're capable, because you are. And let's say you make a mistake. Good news, you're human. It's great. But you make a mistake. Okay. Own it. I made a mistake. That wasn't the decision I would make now with the information I have now. But we don't want to shame ourselves for not knowing what we couldn't have known. So all we have to do is just say, okay, I'm going to connect with myself, sit and meditate, maybe take one of the crystals that I'm going to be talking about, and really ruminate on that, and like holding that crystal and really connecting and meditating on that crystal. And just connect with what it is that you feel would help to remedy, rectify, course correct whatever that mistake is. But very often the mistake when it comes to decisions and choices is more about feeling comfortable in the discomfort of uncertainty, or finding a place of balance and alignment within a feeling of newness. That's very often the challenge that we have to move through. Or very often it's about, oh, okay, I have to learn a lesson. That's how I can make amends. It's just learning this lesson, really learning this lesson about me, about the world, the way it works, whatever it is. But I just really want to encourage you to release the dread when it comes to decision making, because we all experience anxiety and dread to some degree when it comes to decisions. So I'm just allowing you to release some of that, allowing you to release your perfectionism maybe when it comes to making decisions, allowing you to trust that whatever comes up, whatever happens, you will roll with it. And you just have to promise me that you're not going to beat yourself up. But I'm going to come a little bit closer and do some deep clearing in the third eye, okay? Okay, my dear. I'm just going to lean in here. Let's clear in the third eye. So do me a favor. Anything that's coming up for you that maybe you want to just release. There's a cloud of smoke around this decision. There's a lot of noise, feelings things of what you should do, And so instead, you want to just clear that smoke, clear the fog. When we can connect more deeply with what it is that we know to be true and how we want to behave. What does alignment look like for you? What is that aligned version? That can help us so much to reach clarity. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but let's just clear. So, release, clear. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. So I have this beautiful labradorite. It's a great stone for balancing in the third eye. It's a very magical stone. Very magical. It has these gorgeous flashes in it. And you can use those to help you connect and manifest. And I think that manifestation is so powerful and important, and it's become such a buzzword in the last 5 years. But if you connect with what manifestation is, right? Manifestation is just a series of intentions. And you know me, I love intentions, setting intentions for our mornings, our days, our weeks, our moon cycles, our years, setting intentions for whatever season we're in. Setting these intentions for ourselves can be so, so powerful. We set an intention before every single Reiki session, and I set an intention before I begin the Reiki session. So intentions are so valuable and so important because it helps all of the inner workings neurologically to hone in on and focus on these aspects that we want to call into our lives. It helps the energies swirling all around us to sort of start to detect where those intentions might, be, and help to guide us in that direction. It's really about, attracting to us what it is that we intend in our lives. And so that's just a really powerful practice. If we can get crystal clear on what we want, oh my gosh, that's such a powerful practice. So I'm going to call in this labradorite. I'm going to send this energy into your third eye 3 times, and then I'm going to place it over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, so that we can really beam this energy to you throughout this session, okay? So we're going to start here, sending this in. Lean over you. Some eucalyptus, dried eucalyptus. So we have now I have 2 stones, and I'd like to place one of them up on your forehead and the other one right on your third eye. So we're going to place them stacked like that. And this is two different types of fluorite. This is an indigo fluorite. This is a beautiful green fluorite. Gorgeous cubic stone. Wonderful for that focus, focusing of the mind, helping us to laser focus on what it is that we want. That's the best way that you can make a decision. Think about what you want. We can start to release what anybody else wants when we're talking about these decisions. The most important thing to recognize is, what do you want? What does your most aligned, loving, caring, compassionate, aligned self want? What do you want? Then you can start to take into consideration others, depending on the specifics of this decision. You know, when we consider what's going on for us, that helps us better express and communicate to others so that they can also make informed decisions that are in alignment. And similarly, if others can communicate directly with us about what they want, that makes our decisions a lot easier, right? So we want to have this beautiful balance and flow of integrity with our word matches our actions, and also that we are comfortable knowing what we want and also expressing that kindly and clearly. So really getting in touch with what we want, and then having the focus to sort of see what's going on. I have perspective. Now that I know what I want, I can see what's going on throughout. You get that beautiful bird's eye view, and you can start to see what's going on. And then from there, we can really start to connect more deeply with our inner wisdom. So I'm going to place these right on your forehead. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now I want to place a stone on your crown, right on the very tippy top of your head. This is a howlite, a very calming stone. In order to sort of ascend and arrive at this very calm place where we can see everything. It's almost like, I live in a woodland, and so, the woods can be very chaotic with lots of chatty birds and squirrels that are like laughing. They do that little like chipmunks chirping and all of this noise and kind of chaos in the woods. But then the birds can just fly above that and be above the canopy of the trees. And from there, they can sort of see the sky, the beautiful clouds, and see that all of that noise and chatter underneath the canopy, we can just rise above it and see it for what it is, right? So it's from that place of calm and ease that we are really able to have the kind of perspective, intuition, and wisdom that it takes to make the best decisions. When we make a decision when we aren't feeling aligned, when we make a decision when we're feeling really out of whack, maybe emotionally activated, stressed, overwhelmed, exhausted, shoulders go up, tension starts, jaw goes. It impedes our vision. We start to get that tunnel vision and only focus on the things that are right in front of us, maybe someone else's judgment of us or whatever it is. But we just want to be able to sort of calm down, lift up, see things more clearly. Okay? So I'm going to place this right on the crown of your head. For your throat chakra. And this is a blue kyanite, very cleansing stone and purifying. But I think this gives us a lot of confidence in expressing ourselves. So part of the work is about making the decision, and part of our work is about expressing that decision with confidence. So this blue kyanite is there to help you to see clearly, yes, but also to speak with clarity. So I'm just going to place this very gently on your throat chakra. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I want to call in the Shivalingam to help you see things from different perspectives, sort of calling in a little bit of that Libra energy. We're in Libra season, approaching Libra season now. And so as you receive this, we might be in the heart of Libra season. And so we want to look at those scales, look at both sides of the coin, and really start to see what it is that we need to look at here. So maybe we don't need to weigh all of the different aspects, because sometimes that leads to us making assumptions. And, assumptions very often just lead to pain and more confusion. And we're after clarity here. So taking two sides of this and just sort of looking at them, mulling them over. Try and practice this without attaching to an outcome. Not attaching to an outcome, we're just sort of looking at this. When we're making a decision, being able to connect with, the possibilities of the outcomes for sure, mulling that over can be helpful so that maybe you feel prepared. But very often when we get too far into that process, we tend to spiral down and focus on the worst case scenario outcome and just kind of, drill that into the ground. Instead, I want you to just sort of look at everything, this even playing field, and just kind of start to sift things out in equal measure. Looking at things from both sides, considering the people involved, considering your feelings, and just kind of sit with that. Sit with that. And as you do this, try to look at this as if you were giving advice to a younger friend or family member, maybe a child, maybe a teenager who's struggling. Try and really look at this decision through the eyes of the most aligned adult version of yourself. Let the adult version of you take hold of the reins and just do this kind of mental work and really give that advice and speak it in third person. So, well, Anna, here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm seeing. Just as a mental exercise, start to say this to yourself. Well, Anna, here's what I'm seeing. Doing this means this. Doing this probably means this. I don't know what will happen, but based on what I know, this is the decision that will help me to feel the most like myself, the most in alignment with my values. This will make me feel or help me to feel the most integrated in who I want to be, in the version of myself that I want to show up as. So based on what I know right now, this is what I'm seeing. That can be really, really helpful. And finding balance. Balance is so important when we're making decisions. It can also help us to recognize that there's no perfect decision. There is no perfect decision. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to come through and shake up your aura and just seal everything in. And so as we shake it up, any kind of rattled energy that's still stuck or tense or held, we're breaking through those blockages and creating a funnel of energy down towards your feet, allowing it to just cascade down and out. You are divine. You are connected. Connected to your wisdom, connected to your intuition. You are expressive. You are loved. You are loved. You will be loved. You are worthy of love. You are strong and capable. You are emotionally balanced. You are safe. You are safe. Okay, my love, thank you so much for joining me for this session. I really hope that you found it helpful. Please let me know if you did, and you can always come back to this session. This isn't for a specific time and place. We send these Reiki sessions through time and space. Before I start every one of these sessions, I set an intention and I draw the sacred Reiki symbols. So this is just really available to you whenever you need it to support you energetically. So if you're going to sleep now, that's wonderful. Maybe you're going to meditate on this decision for a little bit. Whatever it is, just know that it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And whatever decision that you make, it's all in service of your highest, greatest good. So set that intention as you embark on this decision making, because it's a beautiful adventure. Making decisions can be seen as a wonderful adventure. Okay, I love you so, so much. Take really good care of yourself. Take good care of each other. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Lots of love. Namaste.